you are watching this, most likely you have passed the real estate broker's board examination. And congratulations to you because it is an accomplishment that represents your dedication and hard work in studying for and passing the board examination. If you are new to this channel, I'm Ngayong Clemente, your colleague in the real estate industry. Ngayong pumasa na kayo? Now what? Ano ba ang dapat na gawin para maging registered? Saang real estate developer magandang magpa-accredit? Paano mag-build ng client base? Paano maging successful na real estate broker? Yan ang ilan sa mga tanong na natatanggap ko mula sa inyo. And though I am grateful that you value my opinion or feedback, I can't tell you exactly where you should apply or what work you should do since each person has different needs, goals, and circumstances. Nevertheless, I can refresh your mind on what you should do to be a registered real estate broker. Present you with options for using your license to build a career in the real estate industry and share with you some helpful tips when starting as a real estate broker. So I hope you give this video a like to support me. Also, if you want to learn more about real estate, consider subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell, so you will be updated whenever I have new videos. What to do after passing the Real Estate Brokers Board examination? Number 1, register with the Professional Regulation Commission. For sure, alam nyo na kung ano ang PRC License ID. Kaya ang pag-usapan na lang natin ay kung ano ang Certificate of Registration. A certificate of registration is an official document which certifies that you are registered with the PRC as a licensed professional. Hinahanap ang dokumento na yan ng mga government agencies gaya ng DSUD. Ginagamit din yan kapag magpapa-accredit ka sa mga real estate developers, lalo na kapag high-end properties ang ibebenta. At may mga employers na humihingi rin ng kopya niyan. If you are watching this in the future, the registration dates are usually announced with the list of successful examinees. The steps for online registration via LERIS are as follows. After that part, you have to choose your preferred PRC branch and your preferred appointment schedule and pay for the initial registration fee of 600 pesos. Once you complete the process, you will be able to see the oath form in the existing transactions tab. You have to print it and affix your signature as part of the requirements that you need to personally submit on your appointment date. You'll notice that among the requirements for real estate brokers is the need to post a bond, specifically a cash bond or a surety bond. The choice between the two depends on your preference and financial capacity. Para sa ilang tao kasi, ang 20,000 pesos ay maaaring maliit na halaga na kayang bayaran, habang sa iba ito ay maaaring kumakatawan sa malaking bahagi ng kanilang ipon. Anyway, pag-usapan na lang natin ng mabilis ang kaibahan ng cash bond sa surety bond para sa mga hindi pa rin alam kung ano ang dapat nilang piliin. When you choose to post a cash bond, the amount is fixed and you will be able to refund it if you were able to keep your record clean. You are also assured of the validity and coverage since you have direct control over the bond. On the other hand, the surety bond has a lower upfront cost. The two surety companies I have tried so far are Mapfre and Surety Bonds Philippines. Nagbago na ang name ng Mapfre, naging Una Insurance na sila. They currently offer a surety bond for 1,950 pesos. On the other hand, Surety Bonds Philippines offer surety bonds for 2,750 pesos inclusive of notary, taxes, and service charge. If ever you choose a surety bond, take note that it is an ongoing expense that can add up over time. Kailangan kasing magbayad ng premium tuwing magre-renew ng license bawat 3 taon at dahil sa inflation, pamahal lang ng pamahal ang premium. Regardless of which type of bond you choose, it is important to ensure that your bond is valid and current at all times to avoid any legal or professional consequences. Again, aside from the initial registration, you must also register via LERIS for the Certificate of Registration. The transaction can be selected via the Certifications tab. So you'll receive your PRC ID after completing your PRC registration. Number 2, register as a professional with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. After obtaining your PRC license ID and certificate of registration, you must register as a professional with the BIR because it is a legal requirement under the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997. Moreover, it is for you to be able to pay the appropriate amount of taxes based on the income you will earn. Steps to register as a professional with the BIR. Number 1, prepare the following documents. Number 2, go to the RDO that has jurisdiction over your place of business, then present and or submit the documents you have prepared. Number 3, pay for the certification fee and the documentary stamp tax. Number 4, attend the taxpayer's briefing for new business registrants. The RDO officer will inform you of the schedule and you have to attend it so you will have a good understanding of your tax obligations and avoid potential penalties. Number 5, get your BIR Certificate of Registration or BIR Form 2303. The form does not only contain taxpayer information but also serves as a guide on tax obligations, which include the tax type to be paid, the deadline for filing tax returns, and the required tax forms to be submitted. Aside from registration with the BIR, if your projected annual gross sales or receipts are 3 million pesos or more, then you also need to become VAT registered. It is advantageous as well if you want to claim input tax credits for business expenses such as rent, utilities, and other operating expenses. Once you are a registered professional with the BIR, you may apply already for an authority to print. To obtain an authority to print official receipts, you need to follow these steps. Number 1, choose an accredited printer from BIR's list of accredited printers and reach out to inquire about their printing service. Alamin mo kung magkano ang printing service fee nila para sa 10 booklets dahil magkaiba ang price ng ordinary sa carbonized at syempre may mura maningil, meron ding mahal. Alamin mo rin kung gaano katagal ang production nila. Baka mamaya kasi nagmamadali ka tapos more than 7 working days pa nila kayang ma-produce sa dami ng nagpapaprint sa kanila. Minsan din kasama na sa pricing nila yung stamping ng ATP o delivery fee. Minsan, hindi. Kailangan mong klaruhin lahat ito para alam mo kung pasok sa budget at timeline mo. Another option is to get the official receipt from the accredited printer recommended by your BIR RDO. If you choose to do so, you may skip step number 2. Step 2, get an official receipt sample design. BIR accredited printers usually do the layout of how the official receipt would look for free. You just have to provide them with a copy of your BIR Form 2303 so they can put the correct details. Number 3, accomplish the BIR Form 1906. Make sure to fill in the accredited printer information and information about the official receipt. On the information about the official receipt, mark your tax type, mark bound as the manner of the booklet, fill in 10 as the number of sets of booklets, which is the minimum number, 02 as the number of copies per set, and finally, the serial numbers when you're starting out is usually 001 to 0500. Kapag nagpalit ka ng registered address at gusto mong magpalit ng official receipts, magiging 001A to 0500A siya. Step 4, prepare and submit the necessary documents to the BIR RDO with jurisdiction over your registered business address. Step 5, wait to receive the ATP. Once your application is approved, BIR will issue the ATP which you have to give or send a copy to your chosen BIR accredited printer. The BIR accredited printer will then produce the official receipt booklets based on the approved format. And finally, you have official receipts to issue for the professional services you render. Number 3, register with Anti-Money Laundering Council. As a real estate broker, you also have to register with AMLC via the AMLC online registration system. I'm not sure if your professor has already discussed why we are included in the covered persons, but just in case it wasn't discussed, we are required to register with AMLC to help in preventing money laundering and terrorist financing activities within the real estate sector. An example of our obligation is to report single cash transactions worth 7.5 million pesos and above to the AMLC. In addition, if you want to open or maintain a bank account and you declare your profession as a real estate broker, banks request for AMLC certificate or proof of AMLC registration, and the only way for you to get an AMLC certificate is of course, to register with the AMLC. Nabalitaan ko nga pala na may mga bangko na nagsasara ng bank account ng real estate broker kapag wala siyang ma-present na AMLC certificate. What if hindi mo i-declare na real estate broker ka? Well, hindi ko alam kung paano mo ma-explain kapag malaki ang pumasok na pera sa iyong account. Base kasi sa experience ko, kapag lampas 100,000 pesos ang pumasok na pera, tumatawag agad ang taga-bangko at marami silang tanong. Para hindi ka na rin ma-hassle, i-declare mo na ng tama ang profession mo. At syempre, yun naman din kasi ang tama, di ba? By the way, I won't share anymore how to register with the AMLC since there is an AMLC registration and reporting guidelines course. However, I'll put a link in the description of this video to where you can attend AMLC Philippines free online training courses. Number 4, register with the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. When you are going to engage in project selling as a real estate broker, you are also required to register with the DSUD. Registration is necessary to ensure that you comply with the regulations and ensure consumer protection in the real estate industry. How to register with DSUD as a real estate broker? Number 1, prepare the following documents. Number 2, present all of the requirements for evaluation to the person in charge. Make sure to have the original documents on hand in case the evaluator requests them for verification. Number 3, pay 720 pesos to the cashier for have your official receipt photocopied and submitted to the person in charge. 5, wait and then return for your DSUD ID once it is available for release. Again, you only need to register with DSUD if you are engaged in project selling. Number 5, secure IPO membership. You can join PAREB, REBAP, and REIA, etc. But as you may already know, under Section 34 of RESA, if you have completed your PRC registration as a real estate broker, you are also officially registered with the Professional Regulatory Board of Real Estate Service in the Philippines. And you will be a member of an accredited and integrated professional organization, which is the umbrella organization of all the organizations related to real estate service. However, the IPO being recognized right now is PhilRes. Whether or not they have a valid accreditation, I encourage you to join and support PhilRes so we will have an IPO. Just look at other professions. Civil engineers have the PIES, architects have the UAP, and so on. It is important to have an IPO for real estate service practitioners that will advocate our interests, uphold our standards, provide opportunities for development, and foster collaboration. PhilRes collects 500 pesos as a membership fee, but it is a small price to pay considering they have a weekly forum where you can learn a lot from their guest speakers. And those are what you have to do after passing the Real Estate Brokers Board examination. You will notice that you are required to pay registration fees to be able to operate legally as a real estate broker. And you will incur various fees to maintain the validity of your license and your registration with different government agencies. Therefore, I hope and urge you to uphold the law and protect the integrity of our profession by reporting illegal activities, adhering to our code of ethics, and staying updated with the latest regulations and legal requirements related to real estate transactions. Remember, whatever you do, it will create a perception that extends to our entire profession. Having a real estate broker's license definitely opens various opportunities for you to build a career in the real estate industry. So, what are your initial options? Number 1, work as an independent real estate broker. This means you are not affiliated with a brokerage firm or you are not working for a brokerage firm. By the way, baka yung iba sa inyo nagtataka bakit hindi freelance yung adjective. Well, mas nararapat na term ang independent kasi ang real estate broker hindi naman binabayaran on a project basis gaya ng mga freelancers sa ibang industriya. An independent real estate broker typically operates his own business and works directly with clients. As a matter of fact, BIR doesn't require DTI registration and allows the use of your own personal name in business operations. Number 2, join an established and brokerage firm. This allows you to gain practical experience, access a network of clients, and receive mentorship from experienced real estate brokers. Number 3, work as a property specialist for a real estate developer. You will have the opportunity to actively participate in the sale of up-and-coming projects, and you will have a clear career progression path that provides opportunities for growth, increased responsibility, and professional development within the organization. Number 4, start your own brokerage firm. If you have an entrepreneurial mindset, then you can consider starting your own brokerage firm. You have the ability to build a team, scale your business, and have the potential for higher earnings. Number 5, specialize in a niche market. Specializing allows you to become an expert in a specific market segment and then cater to a specific clientele. Examples of niche markets are luxury real estate, vacation properties, corporate housing, rural lands, etc. Number 6, offer property management services. You can help landlords do tenant management, rent collection, maintenance coordination, and ensure legal compliance. Number 7, broker coordinator. This involves collaborating with fellow real estate brokers and coordinating activities related to property sales, marketing campaigns, and client communications to facilitate successful real estate transactions and achieve sales targets. While most companies are looking for applicants with work experience, there are companies that don't require experience but they prefer an applicant with a real estate broker's license. Whatever you choose among the options that I have just shared, consider your interests, strengths, and long-term goals. Your choice sets the foundation for your real estate career and can significantly impact your professional growth and development. Before I end this video, let me share with you 3 tips as you start your journey as a real estate broker. Relationship building. Building strong relationships is crucial. Take the time to cultivate relationships not just with clients but also colleagues and industry professionals. Doing so opens doors to valuable opportunities, generates client referrals, and strengthens your reputation in the industry. Educate yourself continuously. Learning doesn't stop after you get your license. Continuously acquire and hone your knowledge, skills, and competencies necessary to excel. It will empower you to confidently navigate the complexities of the real estate market and make you stand out in a highly competitive industry. Finally, Be persistent. While becoming a real estate broker is appealing due to the potential for high earnings, the real estate industry can be challenging and at times demotivating for new real estate brokers. That is why being persistent is the way for you to overcome challenges and adapt to market fluctuations, ultimately paving the way for long-term success in the industry. That is all for what to know and do for new real estate brokers. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section below. I may not be able to answer right away because I also have work, but rest assured that I do my best to respond whenever I can. Also, please like this video as support for me. Again, I'm Ann Clemente, your colleague in the industry. Thank you for watching Own Property PH.